Hi, everyone. Welcome to eLearnChat, where talk, it's knowledge. Here we go. Hi, everyone. I'm Briggs Zanotti, and today we are joined by Dawn Mahoney. Hey, Dawn, how are you today?
Greetings to everyone. I'm well, and you?
I am doing very well. And today we've got someone from Adobe, someone we all
Yay.
know. This is second visit on show, and
Yay.
that is Dr. Pooja Jaisingh. Hey, Pooja, how are you?
Hey, hi Rick. How are you
I'm
doing?
doing great, and nice to have you back on. Nice to see you again.
Same here, and it's after about say 2 years.
I think you were on one of the earlier shows,
Yeah.
and
It's all of that because
we
I've
have
been
we
on
have been
almost
training
two.
Pooja now for 2 years straight to come back on. No, I'm just kidding. Well, Pooja, you're going to talk a little bit today about what's going on with Adobe Captivate. It looks like some big things have changed. A brand new release, Adobe Captivate 8. I haven't had too much time to play with it, but I did play a little bit yesterday, and looks good. The new interface, a lot of different things. Tell us a little bit about what's going on with Captivate.
So it's a brand new release that we are really, really excited about, and this comes with the multi-screen responsive projects that you can create with Captivate now, and it comes with a completely revamped UI so that it's easier for the new users to use. So what we have been hearing for a long time that Captivate is a little difficult to learn. It has a steep learning curve. So we've tried to make it really simpler for the new users. We've bucketed a lot of options in certain areas so that it's easier to find out, and we have made the interface really clean. So you will see things only when you need them or you want to use those options. So we've made it simple, and yes, responsive is the biggest thing that we've added with Captivate 8, and we are seeing a lot of excitement in the folks who are checking them out.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, the responsive learning is interesting. Um,
Yes.
was that a big demand? Was that something that people were actually asking for the responsive as far as Captivate goes?
So what we felt as a team that if you want to create mobile learning courses, you will not create anything separately. You already have a lot of e-learning courses out there, and now with the proliferation of all these devices and mobile phones available for everybody, it's desirable by anybody to go and check out their e-learning courses on their mobile devices as well. So we thought that the natural progression would be to make all the e-learning courses available on any device that you use, maybe a full screen a desktop or a small iPhone. The training should be available on all the devices, and it should be presented in a manner which works best for that device.
Okay, good. Now, what other things can people expect to see in Adobe Captivate right now?
So right now we have made a lot of improvements in how you can use smart shapes. So now you can use them as true buttons. So we have brought in the hover state and the down state for smart shapes, which was missing in the previous version. Smart shapes, as you know, is really powerful. It allows you to convert it to any object that you have in Captivate. We've made improvements to shared actions, where you can just drag and drop a shared action on top of an object, and it applies on it, and then you can set the parameters. Also, now the variables that you have in shared actions can be parameterized, and we have improved the JavaScript interface that you have, by which you can bring in JavaScript to Captivate, and we have created a common interface which can be used for HTML5 and Swift. So you don't have to program it differently. You just have to use one code, and that works with both the outputs. And the other big thing related to responsive is we have gesture-enabled e-learning courses that can be created now with Captivate. So you can have pinch and zoom, you can have swipe to navigate, you can have taps and double taps, and do a lot of stuff with the gestures that you have. And the list goes on. I can keep talking to tell you about it.
Well, that's good. Well, that's what you're here for.
Yeah.
So I mean, it is a different interface. Again, this is something that Captivate's been doing for a long time. But like every other version, there's a new interface. I like the look of it. I think it's really clear and clean. And when you first get in it, everything's big, which is nice. It's fairly readable. Some of the buttons are a little bit small, but like I said, I've only just started playing with it. But generally the look and feel is pretty good. It's nice. What other things? Well, responsive is interesting because I know you can't really do responsive easily when you do software simulations, but it really works well for soft skills.
Yeah, but there's a good news here, Rick. So try creating a simulation inside your responsive project, and it'll automatically give you a simulation which will work best on all three devices. So it automatically picks the area where you have the click boxes or highlight boxes and where you have the mouse trailing, and it shows only that portion when you are viewing it in the mobile or tablet. So it automatically detects the place where the action is happening and gives you that sort of a simulation. So I would really encourage you to go and try out the simulation, and you'll be really, really amazed to see the output that you get from that.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, I haven't tried that yet. That sounds pretty cool. Dawn, any questions yet?
Oh, there are. There's a lot of people in the chat pod today, so we're glad they're here. A couple things that have come up is your previous projects. Are you able to migrate them into Captivate 8, or what do you need to do with that?
So yes, you can migrate your Captivate 6 and 7 courses to 8, but you cannot convert them into responsive courses yet. So you can have your plain courses from 6 and 7 and open them directly and work in 8, but they cannot be converted to responsive. For responsive, you have to start from scratch.
Okay. And let's see, what was the other? Where do we find your tutorials? Do you have to be within Captivate 8 to see that learning stream, or are they available other places?
So they are available inside the product, and they are also available on our blog. So if you go to Captivate blog, and on the right-hand side, you'll find some black buttons. One of those buttons is a video tutorial. So just go ahead and click that, and you'll find all the tutorials over there. And we are also on the YouTube channel, and our the YouTube channel name is Adobe eLearning with no spaces.
I know I've watched you there several times, a few of them through, I have Captivate 7, 6 or 7, I'll have to look. But that's the big buzz is that this is the first tool that has come out for rapid development that is device agnostic, and you don't have to do multiple iterations for each. You can do it natively from scratch.
Yes.
So just the group is excited.
Just design it for primary layout, and it automatically sets everything for you in tablet and mobile view, and then you can do some minor adjustments and publish your course, which works on any device size.
You know, one of the nice things is we use Adobe Muse. We use a lot of the Adobe products, but Muse had that right kind of at the beginning where you could do your desktop, your tablet, and your phone, and it was the same idea. It's kind of the same approach. Was that? I guess that's general across Adobe. Whenever there's responsive, it's a similar approach, correct?
Yeah, but if you see Edge Reflow, that's the true responsive tool that Captivate has for web pages. So you can see that, and what Captivate has done is we have I would not say same, but a similar interface where you have breakpoints, and you can design for different breakpoints, exclude or include objects in those particular breakpoints, and do different formatting for each layout, I would say. So that's more similar, I would say, for to Edge. But Edge is more for a web page, and this is the interface that we have gotten for Captivate is more relevant for a slide-based e-learning course. So we have tried to redesign responsive for e-learning.
That's good. Now, you mentioned Edge. How can you do Edge animations and put them into Captivate?
Yes, you can do that. And you can even create responsive edge animations and get them in your responsive projects, and they work beautifully.
That's good. Dawn?
I got nothing.
Oh, I thought you had something.
They're just chatting with each other. Leva is supporting everything that you're saying, Pooja, and especially she posted the blog because I hadn't gone and looked for that web link yet.
Awesome.
So
thanks, Leva.
Definitely. I haven't used Edge yet, so I'm very much of a neophyte and all of that. It's on my computer.
It's pretty neat. So Edge Animate is very interesting. You can create beautiful animations, which are HTML5 using Edge Animate. Reflow is good for creating responsive layouts. And Edge Family also has one more tool, which is Edge Inspect, which allows you to view your HTML5 creations on devices. So we also have Edge Inspect integration with Captivate, so you can directly preview your courses in Edge Inspect and check it out how it's looking in your tablet or your iPhone or your Android devices.
That's good. Are there any changes to the actions, the ability to do shared actions, regular actions? I thought, if I recall correctly, standard actions are back, where you can do the really quick, which they were, I think, in version 5. Actually, 4 had them, 5 had them. Then they went away, I think, in 6. Now, are they back?
They never went back. They went away, Rick. I don't remember them going away.
What were they called? They weren't. Was it called standard or? Oh gosh, what were they called? They were the ones that you could just do a quick one thing. You didn't have to go into the actions editor or anything. I think they're back from what I heard. Have not looked yet. Leva, okay. Any feedback on that one? I think you mentioned that those were back. I used to love those. They were easy.
Okay.
She's asking some questions. I'll see if that comes through.
Okay.
She's saying that in addition to the notation you made earlier about being able to pull Edge animations into Captivate 8, that it needs a little bit of JS and jQuery to make powerful. Okay, I'm just going to read this. When will Captivate and Edge Animate be able to talk to each other?
I think they talk really well, and you can create your OM files from Edge Animate and bring it in there. Yeah, but if it has some JS or jQuery, it doesn't work well, I guess. Yep. I've tried simple animations and they work beautifully, but I've never tried scripting inside Edge Animate to get it in here.
And Rick Blunt wonders if you have some responsive examples you can show us today. That was a Stump the Band question.
Was that Rick Stone?
Rick Blunt is on.
Rick Blunt, okay.
Yeah. Are you there, Pooja?
Yeah, I'm here, but I have not shared any examples with Rick. So what Rick Blunt can do is he can go to Captivate and on the welcome screen, on the top right corner, there is a TV icon. You can click that, and the first 3 projects are projects that you can use and check out for yourself.
And also, if you don't have 8, then find it on the blog.
Or if you don't have 8, just download it. Yeah, they can
find it on the blog as well. So next to the tutorials button in the blog, there is examples button. They can click that and see the examples there as well.
And if you don't have 8, you can also download it as a trial. So that's another thing that you can do, right, which is easy to do. It's an interesting thing because I have some videos that Pooja sent us. We didn't have time to put them on. They were also a little bit long for the show, but we will put all the links to those videos. So you'll have a lot of Pooja does an introduction to all of the new features. It's about a 14-minute video. And it's good. Lots of good stuff in there. And there's another video, too. She sent me 2. So we'll put those up in show notes when we go up on Vimeo. So you'll have access to all those videos as well.
They'll be linked later today. Watch our Twitter stream.
Yep.
Yeah, Okay, so Leva was talking about interactions with the widgets. Because I'm a neophyte, I probably didn't ask the question right. So it has a widget manager.
Can you repeat the question? I didn't get the
Sure.
question.
So she was just clarifying the JS query and so forth as far as the Edge Animate into Captivate 8 and the widgets, using the widgets.
Right. So it's just the beginning of integrating edge animations with Captivate. So we will definitely work on it and get all that stuff. And regarding widgets, yeah, we can work on it. And currently, the interactions and widgets are separated because widgets are more, they give Swift output. So whatever gives Swift and HTML5 both output, we are categorizing it as interactions, and widgets are still in the Swift interface. So we are working towards making everything HTML5 compatible. So it is work in progress.
Now, how is the HTML5 working on the mobile right now? Is it pretty much fully supported?
Yes, it's fully supported. So if you see responsive, it's completely HTML5. We are not giving a Swift output at all because it doesn't make sense over there, and it works beautifully. So I can also share a link later, and we've created a page where you can go and check out how Captivate projects, the responsive projects, work when it is being viewed on laptop. So we have created a simulated environment where you can see that it opens in a laptop, it opens in a tablet, and in a mobile phone. The same course, how it looks like, you can see a live, preview of that.
Now, I notice you also now include a lot of content, about 2 gigabytes of content, from
Yes.
avatars to backgrounds, so all sorts of fun little stuff.
Yes.
Talk a little bit about that, please.
Sure. So we have now 25 different characters in 50 different poses. So you can choose from them. And we have these characters in 4 different categories. There is a category of business, there is casual category, medical, and there is illustrated characters, which also includes stick picture drawings, which are great for some fun courses. And we have 11 different themes to choose from. And the best part about these themes is these are responsive themes, which you can just directly use. And whenever you are authoring content using these themes, it is automatically, it is designed in a manner that everything is taken care of when you're authoring responsive. So you don't have to worry about placing the content in a particular way or manner. It is all done for you. All the additional objects that you get in, you have to work on that, but not something that's coming from the theme. Also, these themes come with theme colors. So you can have one theme and you can have 10 different, 12 different theme palettes that you can apply and have a different color scheme. And if you don't like any of that, you can customize the theme color palette, and it will give you the look and feel that you want.
That's great. Now, somebody asked me the other day about PowerPoint. I mean, Adobe Captivate has always been importing PowerPoint. Used to import it as a slide. I heard that now it is importing objects too. So in other words,
Yes.
yes, okay.
Yes. So that was available even in 7,
Okay.
and 6 as well. So 6, it was compatible for Swift. In 7, we added compatibility for HTML5, and 8, of course, it does it for both.
Okay, but what I'm saying is also it brings in the character, it brings in the actual objects, or is it just strictly a
Yes.
slide?
I would say you get all the animations and triggers and all the smart shapes that you add. All those animations or anything that you add are brought in intact, but it doesn't bring in the objects.
Okay,
No,
but
it
you see
doesn't.
everything. But you see everything that's actually
Yeah.
in the PowerPoint.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
sounds good. Now again, I haven't looked recently, but does this version of Captivate also correspond with the version of Presenter, or is this separate?
It's separate.
Separate,
Those
okay.
are 2 different authoring tools.
Okay.
So the group is talking about the subscription option, and maybe you would share a little bit more about that, the constraints and so forth.
So a subscription for Captivate is available for $20 a month, and it has to be an annual commitment, and they can have Captivate 8 on their machine with that.
I'm thrilled that you have this in the subscription mode, because I would be buying it myself. So
I wish
good.
everybody would go to that. I've heard a lot of people say they would buy certain tools if they went subscription, but nobody's done that except Captivate at this point, and it makes it a lot more affordable for everybody. So it was
that completes the suite of Adobe tools then, right? Authoring tools are all available.
Yeah, and the best part
through the
about
cloud.
subscription is, Rick, that as soon as you go, we come out with a newer version, you can directly switch to the new version. You don't have to buy a new subscription. So if you bought your subscription when you were on 6 and 7 comes out, you immediately jump to 7. And when 8 comes out, you can immediately jump to 8 version. So you always have the latest and the greatest.
Now, I believe you can also have both versions. So, for example, if you upgrade to 8 right now, you can have 8, but you can also have your 7 projects as you're doing conversions.
You just have to keep one thing in mind, that you don't open the software, both the softwares at the same time.
Right.
Just keep one closed and one open.
Or bad things can happen, yes.
So the commitment is for a year. Then if you opted out after a couple months, you would still be billed for the year. Am I?
Yes. Yeah, it is an annual commitment. We had a monthly subscription, but it was not a very popular one. So we removed that, and we just have now month on month with annual commitment.
And is that true of all of the subscription products or Captivate 8 specifically?
Yeah, I'm talking about Captivate and Presenter.
But I think it is true for all of the Adobe products if you're talking about the Creative Cloud and everything. I think it is true, Don.
Okay. I have that. I just haven't done the Captivate 8 yet.
Yeah, and it's fun when you get all these new updates and you're going, wow, I got all these new toys this Monday or Wednesday or whenever it comes out. And now the only problem with that is there's a lot of new stuff coming out all the time. So if you're in Creative Cloud, it's hard to keep up. But then again, most people don't use all 20 programs of however many there are. They'll use 5, 6, 7 of them. And even still, that's a lot of updates. I know there's major updates coming out this year, I think in July or June, for a lot of the products, including Muse, which is being rewritten. So there's a lot of good stuff happening. Adobe's keeping busy.
I like that it doesn't bog down your hardware changing and adding different versions of software. So you can go and use it in the cloud, as it were.
Right.
Leva's question is, how many versions can you keep with a subscription?
2.
2, okay. So essentially the current and a look back?
And the last, yeah.
Okay. I think that's it so far. What else do you want to tell us? Oh, will Captivate, Diane's asking, will Captivate ever be integrated into the Creative Cloud suite? Is there plans for that?
No plans yet. No plans yet.
No plans yet.
No. It's a specialized tool, and we need a separate space for it.
Yeah, it's big. And it's a hosted solution too, so if you design out there, you don't have to, you can save your projects in the cloud as well?
No.
As you work on them?
No.
No,
Okay.
that would have to be Creative Cloud, Don.
Yeah, that will
Okay.
be Creative Cloud, yeah.
Okay. I have that. So.
But you know what a lot of people do, and we've been doing this as we have, especially remote people, we tend to work out of Dropbox. So we'll put our Captivate projects in Dropbox, and then as we need anything, everybody's got access to the same files. And if you're in it and somebody else tries to get in, they're locked out. So that works pretty well.
Right.
And it's a good way to work if you've got remote teams. And a lot of people are doing it. We do that with pretty much all the products we work with. And it works well. So you don't have the cloud, but you do with either Box or Dropbox or
Bloomfire,
Bloomfire, Google Drive. That's another one. So it'll work well with all of those without an issue.
Okay, good. Let's see. Support for Captivate 6. Is it going to be sunsetted, or is there a plan for that at this point?
Support for Captivate 6 as well?
Yeah.
You mean how long will support last?
Yes. I'm
We
assuming that.
support all our customers, so.
So if you purchased it, you've got the support.
Yeah, you've got the support. You can reach out to. We have an email. We have an email ID dedicated for helping the customers, and that's captivatehelp@adobe.com. You can write to us on that email ID whenever you want, and we'll be there to help you.
Perfect. Let's see.
If you're in the forums, Leva lives there 24/7. So
she does. I don't think she sleeps.
She sleeps on there too.
Yeah, I've not seen a more dedicated person than Leva.
I seriously think since she retired, she doesn't sleep, our Leva. And she's multi-continental now too, so she probably doesn't know what time it is at any given point. So that was the last questions so far. What else would you like to tell us about?
What else would you like to know?
So what do you like? What do you like as the best new feature? What do you enjoy the most?
I think responsive. I've been the day I saw responsive, I was like, this is going to blow everybody's mind away. And this is the best thing that you can do with Captivate. And I think this is one feature which differentiates Captivate from everybody else. It's the first tool that allows you to do responsive, and we are really, really proud about it.
Seamlessly.
Yep.
I'm excited that you have figures and characters and so forth in there that are readily available. So
Yeah.
and color theme pickers. So
Yeah,
forth.
and one of the interesting things that we've added now in interactions is we've added a game inside the interactions, which is accelerometer enabled. So you can create that game, and when you play it using your tablet, you have to move it, tilt it, and turn it to play the game. It's amazing. It's amazing to see what Captivate can do for you.
So actually, that's a good point. I didn't realize that.
Yep.
So is the accelerometer actually available to you when you're doing your development?
No. So
No.
we have just created a game using that technology, and the name of the game is Catch the Alpha Nums. So go and check it out, and it's awesome. I had fun playing with it.
So was that done is that a widget or no? You created a game, but
No, it's a learning interaction. So you can
it's
just
an
go
interaction.
and
Okay.
configure it and add it to your course.
Okay. Now, can people create their own interactions right now or not yet?
Yeah, they can use the widget interface that we have and create their own interactions. Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
Sounds good.
And Leva put another one in there in geolocation.
Yeah, geolocation is fun. So you can actually use, there is a new variable that we've added, which is CP info geolocation, which allows you to create location aware learning. And what it does is that based on your location, it will serve you content. So if you are, say, in DC, it will give you content that is more relevant for DC. If you are in Atlanta, it will give you content that is related to Atlanta. You can also use the same geolocation variable for testing the folks. So suppose you give them an activity that you have to go to these particular places in the garden or in this particular building. So as soon as they reach that particular place, Captivate course will know that they have reached here, and they will mark it as complete, and then they move on to the next location and do things. This is, I feel, very, very interesting and very good for induction type trainings for new joinees in a company or new students in a campus, where they can be given a course where they have to go and explore the entire area and find out and have some fun facts about those areas. And so
That's actually pretty cool. You could actually teach someone how to use, let's say you're on a big campus and you want to teach people how to go from building to building. You can actually have them go building to building. And as they get there, it would pop up content. That could be a lot of fun. Something definitely different.
And this is also helpful for travel related courses. So if you are going to visit a monument, for each corner you can have a specific information linked to that, and that can be really helpful for, so instead of the podcast that you get or the audio guide that you have, you can have an e-learning course on your mobile, and that can help you go through the entire thing.
So does it work out from GPS coordinates, or do you have to? Okay.
Yes. So you have to find out the latitude and longitude of that particular location and create your own variables, and then compare it with CP info geolocation. If this is true, do this. If this is true, do that. So it's simple conditional action that you create based on that.
I can see application for an orientation scavenger hunt / interactive map.
Yeah.
In my world, it wouldn't work because we have too many buildings. It would be full-time coding for about 20 people, but I can definitely see it for a large one off campus to get people directionally oriented, find their leader, so to speak.
Right.
Love that. I love that. And the whole, like you said, the responsive, but then I'm going to try the game too, because I think that's breakthrough.
Yes.
Thanks for including it. Leva keeps listing the things she likes. Shared actions, fully parameterized. I can't even say it, let alone explain it. So I'll just go with that's a good thing. And and I was glad to hear about the smart shapes when you began the discussion, because that was a challenge before. So I'm definitely going to check those out on my next Captivate course, which should be this summer. And that's all I've got in the chat pod, Rick.
That sounds good. It sounds like it's been pretty active. Yeah. And well, yeah, like any new version, like any tool, play with it, get familiar with it, learn it. There are quite a few videos I've noticed on the web. I did the lynda.com tutorial the other day on new features, and it was pretty good. It went through a lot of what was new. Some of it was actually in 7 that they said, but I think they just kind of threw it in there. But on the whole, it was a good tutorial, good intro to it. Yeah. And again, the video we'll put later on from you will also have a great introduction, 15-minute introduction to all of the new features. And I think you do cover all the new features in that one. It was
yeah, and actually Alan and I have recorded some 29 different videos for the new features. There were so many new things that we had to do 29 different videos to explain it.
So are those already out?
You can check them out.
Are they on YouTube?
Yeah, they are all on YouTube.
Okay, great. No, I didn't see that many. That's good. I'll go look. Well, Pooja, as always, a pleasure. Are you going to be going to eLearn by any chance?
No, Rick, I won't be going
there. Not that one. Okay.
I'm traveling too much, so just cutting down on travel a bit now.
Yeah, I know you've been at quite a few shows recently. I saw you last at DevLearn back last year.
Right. I just came back from ESTDI, so I thought let me give a couple of months break, and then I'll continue with my...
Okay.
You were very busy as I walked by the booth several times, so people were excited. I waved at one point, but you're probably, if you saw, you're like, who is she waving at? The senior evangelist title is working.
Yeah.
Now, somebody will be at the eLearn show coming up this June?
I don't know if somebody from the team will be there now.
Okay.
I don't think so.
We'll take a look. I know last year that there was, I think you were there, but it was mostly Connect.
I was there.
It was mostly Adobe Connect that was showing.
Right.
All right. Well, Pooja, as always, a pleasure seeing you, and thanks so much for coming here and telling us about the new version. I'm sure people will be downloading, upgrading, and playing with it as we speak. And Dawn, as always, glad to have you back home for a change.
Thank you. I am here as well. Diane and Colleen and Leva and everybody is saying thank you for being on the show, Pooja.
It's a pleasure being here, Rick. Thanks for inviting me, and thanks, Dawn.
You're welcome. Nice to meet you virtually.
Thank you, everybody, for joining. Yep.
That's good. And for you guys in the chat room, thanks again for being there. And if you are watching the recording on Vimeo, which will be up a little bit later this morning, please subscribe. Give us your feedback. We love hearing from you.
Absolutely.
That's it for today. We'll see you guys next week. Pooja, again, thanks. Dawn, we'll see you next week. Have a good one, everyone.
See ya. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.